Good evening or afternoon wherever everyone is. Hope you're doing well. It feels so quiet in the studio today. I don't know why. Maybe we need some gain. Malaysia, it's 5:05 a.m. Lovely. What a time to join us. Thanks for waking up so early. Woot! Sean's here. Hello everyone. Nelson. Alec. This is right. Friday vibes indeed, mate. Mark, Patrick, Troll, Lucas, yeah! Pat's here. Michael's here, riffing it up. Man, I laughed. I've been laughing at the comments while I've been setting it up. And what do you think of the overhead? Hello, maybe epic moments. We go to the overhead camera for the epic moments. Are we cooking some tones? Look at this, mate. Look who's here. Make sure you check out this guy. Make sure you give him a check out. What a guy, what a player, what a tone machine. Boom, put it right here in the center. Bingo, bango. Yeah, so what a week. I see no tea or biscuits. Listen, I actually had a tea a little bit earlier. I would love, Miles, I would love another tea right now, I'll tell you that. Would go down a treat. Yeah, the 90s rock vibe. Hello. It is a GoPro up there, a GoPro 9. Yeah, I thought since I don't use the overhead camera so often, like for top-down product videos and stuff like that. Hey Brad, good to see you, mate. LOD Rich, all the big guns are out tonight. Yeah, I thought I'd put the GoPro to better use because previously it was just sat on the floor doing pedal boards, and of course we're not really doing a lot of pedals. Hello Nathan, look at that, all the big hitters are out. It's like Venice Beach, oil dripping everywhere except it's fast fret. Alex Coates is here, holy shit. Hey, I feel slightly intimidated. We've got all the guitar stars rocking up here. Woof, woof. Feel like I should put my collar down, smarten up a little bit. Tell you what, these pants very comfortable, but seem to ride the jacket right up your arsenal. I'll tell you that. But yeah, what a crazy week, man! Unbelievable. I'm flabbergasted. We did not expect the level of support and love and just absolute. Talk about cranking everything up to 11. Like the support and stuff has been unbelievable this week. Tagging us all over on Instagram, in the stories, on posts. People on my Facebook page message me on anything that they can. I don't even use Messenger, Facebook Messenger that much. I went on there and it was like, wow, what a crazy start. Tuning in for PolyChrome 101. Let's go, Broken Home. So I figured, here, thank you, Alex. Thank you, mate. Too kind. Look at that, lovely guy. So I figured today, since it's been out since Monday, we'd fired up, we'd jump into Ableton, and we'd cover everything from some clean tones, some very, very sparkly acoustic tones, how I like to set it up, and maybe we'll dissect a couple of my favorite tones to see how they're going as well. Look at that, Luca is here too. Bingo bango, there he is. So yeah, I was just saying, what a crazy, amazing week we've had, and we've also released our first update today as well. So not hanging around on the sun lounges here. We are producing the updates, and there's more very, very cool things to come. So I'm guessing there's a bunch of people here that have the plugin. What's your initial thoughts in the chat? Just off the top of your head, it could be this plugin is absolutely terrible. I could not sound like Joe Satriani if I tried. It could be I try, whatever you like. Let's get a general idea who has the plugin in chat, and then we know what's going on here. Man, a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about will apply to maybe a more traditional way of setting up your tones as well. Perfect, Brad. That's one word. Good. Bingo Brango's a great, yeah, Bingo Brango. It's a late arrival for the presets. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Oh, Nathan, it's too soon, mate. It's only 5 days in. It's too soon, mate. It's just what I've been looking for. Amazing. Yeah, it's been wild seeing how people are using it in different ways, actually. That's been really interesting. Like, normally sitting through a 20-minute video of somebody like making tones, I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, I've seen the first couple of minutes, I understand what this video is about. But it's been so fascinating because I've been so involved with this thing, and then seeing anyone do anything that's like slightly different, I'm like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing it that way? Oh, actually, that sounds pretty good. What's he doing? Why is he doing that? I don't set it up that way. Oh, okay, that works. It's just so weird. It's great though. So fun. I've been obsessed with using the synth settings with my 8. Oh, if anyone here hasn't heard the synth oct, that's on a very beastie gain sound. Probably a breakbeat would sound good with that. Should have some breakbeats. Come on. Ugh. Maybe that one actually. Yeah, I like the half-time ones, I've got to say. JB! Got this camera today as well. Just really, really fun. I love synth oct. Very cool. Yeah. So if you haven't played with it, definitely check it out. Metal Gaming, hello, hello, hello. Look at this, we've got Kevin Crunch as well. Hello, mate. Lovely to see you. Metal Gaming, welcome. JB, the ultimate cruise machine, is here as well. Your guitar, very beautiful. Thank you. Your profile picture is also very beautiful. Scary though, very scary. I'm considering selling all my, oh gosh, what just happened? I'm considering selling all my amps. Actually, I have no need for them, even less with PolyChrome. I'll be using PolyChrome live, 100%. Yeah. It's a very nasty tone, isn't it, Luca? It's like that. But how can we get those tones? But how can we get all the tones? How can we get that tone? Well, every tone that I'm using tonight obviously is from the PolyChrome DSP McRocklin Suite. This is true, Cygnus. I mean, actually, you know what? There's a point. There's a good point that I want to bring up. Lainey called me yesterday. This will be a nice little talking moment here. Lainey called me up yesterday and they said, hey, what are you going to do when you take your PolyChrome live? What speakers are you going to go on? And I was like, maybe, I was thinking to myself, maybe in-ears. But then I do like a bit of stage volume. PA speakers, don't like the look of them. So I was like, why? Tell me more. And then they mentioned about their full range speaker that looks like a guitar cab, aesthetically pleasing. I saw some stuff about Guthrie Govan using them on a tour and stuff with the band right now. I was like, okay, interesting. Do you think this is something that we need to check out? Do we need an option other than a lovely pair of studio monitors, which is great, but would I want to take those on a stage? First of all, they're not loud enough and they're too pretty for a stage. So FR speakers, is that a thing? Is PolyChrome part of the Quad Cortex? No, it is not. Nothing to do with the Quad Cortex. It's a standalone piece of software. Synth, I shut the drives off. I'm going to have to read that again, Brad. let's come back to some of these. Anyway, is there a discussion to be had about me checking out some FR full range cabs in the aesthetics of a guitar amp that would look good on a stage? Because I feel like people are starting to warm to taking a laptop live. I certainly am. I've been doing it for a few years. Every NAMM show that I've done in recent years has been using a laptop, you know, and I felt comfortable. So going to like an M1, M2 MacBook Pro, you'd be absolutely no problem. I don't know. Let me know anyway. This could be a discussion for later. Stay tuned. I hate that term, but you know, stay tuned. Look at this, guys. We've got Kiesel guitars here. This is an opportunity to hit the horn. Kiesel guitars here. Look at that. There's a Kiesel guitar for you right there. Look at that. Look at, there's some Kiesel guitars over there. Unbelievable. Wow. Kiesel in the house. So, FR could be a topic to discuss. We'll see. Literally using PolyChrome for all my recordings from here on out. It's my favorite plugin of all time. I truly mean it's the best thing to happen to my rig since getting my interface. Wow. Yeah. Kevin, that's high praise, mate. Thank you. Okay, Sinister 2, the preset. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, now it makes sense. Oh, good. That was a good point there, because there is a live stream type of demo on the PolyChrome DSP page, on the PolyChrome DSP YouTube channel, which I uploaded earlier, and I wanted to know if you guys kind of like that. Very, very raw, no edits, just me like this, but just hitting record in the stream software and uploading it for you guys. So yeah, send your pedals to me. Yeah. So throw your pedals in the bin. Hey James, good to see you, man. Lovely to see you. All right, so let's scroll back to the present. Let's scroll. We love the McRocklin Suite. Even Kiesel like it. That's amazing. Well, that's interesting. Smart. I like you running it through a little speaker like that. I like it. Get some Battlefront preset. That's a nice preset. So today, I will be loading all of the presets, all the sort of chill stuff. Oh my gosh, I have a 2-color Crackle Type X on order. Mate, you haven't even had one of these models very long. You're going absolutely mental, Brad. I love it. I love it. So, let me show you what I have on my stream setup, just as rough tones. So on the board, I have right now, well, technically under the desk for Hutch, I have Live Logics, because I used to use Live Logics. Apparently, they're working on some updates, and apparently, they're going to be very, very, very cool. Brad, you do have a problem, but it's a good problem, and you're managing fine, okay? And you're absolutely ripped out of your mind, so it's okay. Anyway, so I have a couple of Morningstar MC8s, and I'm doing MIDI switching right now inside of Ableton Live. Now, at some point real soon, we will have another option for you, more of a native type of MIDI solution for you, which you're going to love. But that is in an update coming at some point in the very near future. But just to give you a bit of an overview of how I use PolyChrome on a live stream like this, basically, I have a Morningstar MC8, and within Ableton, if you use Ableton, it's great because it allows you to do like sort of almost like a virtual rack where you can just jump through different sort of parameters and things. You can set them however you like and just trigger complete things. It's pretty cool. Not many DAWs do that. As far as I know, Ableton's one of the few that does that. But anyway, I basically have one bank, which is all my dry. I have another dry sound. Two, you see, that's the same amp, right? Same amp, but different drives, different EQs, different speakers, and that is why this suite is so damn good, because with one amp, you can have so many different types of sounds. You can have everything from, I don't know, we don't really, someone asked earlier, are they modeled after specific amps? But they're so tweaked that it wouldn't really make sense saying this one's based off a Marshall, this one's based around a Mesa and a Fender. It doesn't really work like that, because it was like, what to my ears would be the best sounding low gain, high gain, edge, you know, amp, clean amp, acoustics, all of that stuff. So it's like, and because we are not sampling, we're not profiling, where we're literally taking a sort of sound and replicating it, we're building everything from the absolute ground up. So we have all of the parameters, all the things that we can tweak that in a real amp. I mean, you'd have to get a big hammer and a big sledgehammer and just try to smash them into place. And it wouldn't work, because you'd have bits of amp all over the floor. It would be terrible, and it'd be very expensive. But in what we're doing, we can really go into like very, very specific types of sounds and stuff. It's great. And then up here, I have a dry clean. Well, actually, that's a dry acoustic. And then I have a clean. Now, I love that type of thing. It's got that grit on it, right? Boop. So if you're jamming, it just cuts through really, really nicely. Really, really cool. And then I have a kind of low gain, semi broken up, and then I have my default. Hey Co, welcome. That's very heavy. All of the, you know, all the sounds that I just love. I mean, that right there, I could just sit and riff on that for hours. Let's just quickly jump in here. Hey, Sean, just popped in real quick to say congrats on PolyChrome, and I have been loving the demo version. Super fun. Sounds really awesome. Have a great weekend. Hey, Sean, thanks for checking it out. And you too, have a great weekend, my friend. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? It's zooming across all the screens. I bought it flat out as soon as it was released. My fingers haven't been... Sorry. Look at that. We got to make this text a bit better, haven't we? So what size is that? 18 size. So why is it like all... We got to make it bigger. Is it bigger? Like that. Make it like that. Let's try that again. Bingo, bango, there we go. That's a readable text size right there. Yeah, thank you, mate. And try and rest those fingers as well. Is every preset a different channel? Is there a heap of channels with the plugin? Yeah, well, that's the thing with Ableton. It turns them all off as well. So right now I have a bunch of instances running, but my CPU inside Ableton, it's 14%. And bear in mind, like, PolyChrome DSP is very, very low resources. It's very good on running on older machines. If you want to run a lot of instances in a really big mix, it's amazing at running in various on various CPUs. You know, it's very, very, very light on your CPU. So it's great. Our install size, like I went to the Dropbox folder to check the latest versions that we're running internally, and it was like on PC, it was like a 30 meg install file versus hundreds of megs from other people. It's just like, it's crazy how we're able to do this. Madness. Tom here, work at the boss's YouTube account. Oh, lovely. Lovely. There we go. High praise there. Yeah. Playing the McRocklin Suite through a real cab right now sounds chonky. I would like to hear that. That would be good. That would be really cool. Yeah. Thank you guys. Lovely comments. Bingo, bango. Right, so any negative Nellies offering bad feedback on Poly? Not from people that's actually tried it. I think there's probably people that are like, who is this guy and how's he came out of nowhere with this piece of software that does this? And you know, whenever you have like a situation like that, you're bound to rub people up the wrong way because why didn't they do it? So it wouldn't be surprising if there's some trolls and noobs out there, but everything that I've came across is love it. Features have been requested for sure, like a tuner that's came up probably maybe 10 times, and we will be looking at obviously adding things like that. So it's mostly that really. Bug-wise, like compared to how many people have been using it this week, we've had like a handful of people, like 4 or 5 people maximum, maybe it's not even that. And they had one issue where they had their guitar into the wrong input of the audio interface, and that can happen. I mean, it's happened to me. I've got 8 inputs and I've been caught loads of times where my guitar is plugged into 3 and my interface in the software is expecting 1. But that's a very, very minor, small thing. So it's really, in the grand scheme of things, it's been a dream start, you know, and Guitar World and guitar.com picked it up and, you know, put some really good stuff out there as well. And yeah, and all this stuff is just happening organically as well, so amazing. Will adding tuner and stuff affect its awesomeness? I hope it makes it even more awesome, mate. Exactly, 100%. There's always going to be people, you know, that like, oh, Hutch would be like, you haven't got a JPEG of an amp, they're not going to like it. Or so, you know, some people are just very much like that. They're set in their ways and they won't give it a try. But overall, the feedback has been absolutely lovely, and it's great to see because we literally, well, we didn't literally put everything into it. You wouldn't want to use something that we put everything into, but we did put our hearts and souls into the software. It was many hours of. You don't even want to know. A lot of time though. You have a snark tuner that burns through batteries. Oh yes, yeah. Hutch, when he comes around, I always leave a tuner. I have a bunch of these, but I always leave one on Hutch's hair light. You know, I have a hair light just for Hutch, and I always leave one of these. And he's like, he always gets worried when the battery is getting low on it. So, yeah. Glad it was a JPEG amp. Exactly. No PNGs. Anyway, let me turn off my normal sounds. And turn on a new instance, just fresh as it comes. Over here. Turn on. I mean, a lot of people love that default tone. Let me screen share, and we'll jump into it. So let me see, can you see this all right? Now I do have a chat right here so I can see what you guys are reading about, or what you guys are saying rather, and let me make it even bigger. How's that? Is that okay? Is that nice and big, very clean? Everybody happy? Why is it called? That's just the default initialized initial preset. It could be called blank preset, but blood and coffee. Oh gosh, that's a bit sinister. Hair light. Yes, that's right. So a lot of people actually love this preset, and it's just the way I've set it up to be like not too crazy in certain areas. But the cool thing is you know, the overdrives, if you want to jump in and turn on the attacker, for example. Right away you can tell that's doing its job. It's giving it that viciousness, you know. That's a great question. What does Ducker do? Oh gosh, I've lost my Ableton. I'm all out of luck. I wanted to add you to the stream. Anyway, I'll just keep adding it. Can individual parameters in the plugin be MIDI controlled? Yes, they can. Yes, they duck. Let's turn the reverb off for a second and just turn the wide off for a second and turn the ducking off and lots of delay. See, that's a lot of delay, right? Let's put it on stereo and turn off the filters. See, I would never like have a distorted tone with that much delay on it. It's a bit heavy-handed. So I would turn it down, but then I would sometimes have not enough. And then I go more mix, more delay, and then I have too much. So the cool thing is with ducking is we can control how much the delay disappears essentially when we turn on ducking. So for example, what we're on right here, 33%, quite a lot of delay. If I go halfway up on the ducking and I just... You heard how it kind of disappeared? When I let go of the guitar, it comes back. But when I hold a note, it really ducks the delay. It gets it out of the way. And if I just go back to that default preset, you can see on the default preset, oh, let me just jump back and forwards on that default. I have a little bit of ducking. And it's a great thing to do for your mixes because it really helps to clear them up. I use it all the time on my previous setups where I'd use like Ableton delays and Ableton reverbs, and I'd have to manually set side chains up. And it's actually quite complicated to do inside of software in terms of setting side chains to trigger the sort of side chain of the delay. Some software, it's built in, and some it's just a right old pain. But it's just so much easier to have it on one knob. So that's a great question. Let's jump back in here. So, in fact, before we start dialing in tones and stuff, when I use Pong, it doesn't bounce from side to side. Well, there we go. That's another great question and something that can be fixed very easily. So with Pong, if you have the default preset and you have, say, let's say you have a stereo one and you've got a lot of spread on, for example, it's kind of like jumping around with it there. And then you go to Pong, well, the spread is offsetting the Pong delay, okay? So you need to make sure the spread is on 0 for it to go equally left to right. If we have spread up here, oh, it's doing like a rhythmic thing. That could be cool. But if you want a traditional going from left to right, then you got to make sure Pong's on and spread is down. Boom, left to right, equal portions. But for my default, I would, no problem. I would have definitely some cut on the low, cut on the high, and a nice little bit of ducking. Pull that down. Yeah, so any question like that, just fire it into the chat because this is a great opportunity to like try different things, and you might have an idea, try this together, it might work really well. Or you're struggling, like Brad there was asking about the Pong not bouncing cleanly from side to side. It had a little bit of a sort of a bounce to it, a rhythmic sort of thing, and that is the solution. So anything like that, throw them in the chat. Let's dive into all of the geeky stuff. But would you guys like to start with cleans? Well, let's go from very, very clean acoustic to clean to gritty edge stuff, and then into the heavier stuff. Which order are we going to go in? That's the question. Are we going to go heavy? Are we going to go clean? It's a big one. It's a big question. To integrate your physical pedal after that? Absolutely not. I have no love in terms of desire. Well, I should say I have no desire to make a hardware pedal. I have no desire to make any guitar hardware. You know, maybe a controller, that would be cool. But in terms of something that was like a compressor, a drive pedal, or a delay, I have absolutely no feelings or passion towards making that type of product. I'm all in on PolyChrome DSP, and honestly, it's the first time in forever that I've been content, as in like I load a sound, I'm into recording, I'm into making demos. I've never turned so many ideas around for potential new songs with new band members as I have recently, just by loading a preset, and I'm like, bang, I'm straight into choosing a tempo, get the riff down. I've never been able to do that before, like ever. Fractal, you know, I got some good sounds, but I was tweaking it all the time. And then I record it, or I've recorded it with the effects on, or I have to record it again because I've committed the effects. Okay, you know, my previous setup, too much gear. It's like, hey, you want to have a good clean amp? Buy this. You want a good gain amp? Buy this. You want a heavy sound? Buy this. Oh, by the way, you know, you might want to get some Eventide, some SSL, some FabFilter. It was just like a nightmare, you know? It's like, and it's not really fair, you know, I don't think, on the general audience of guitarists to have to buy all of these separate plugins, you know, like literally thousands of dollars worth of plugins. Oh, I'm waiting for the sale so I can get $30, $40 off this, and next time I need to get this. But, well, this just does all of those sounds and even better. You got all your beautiful cleans, low gains, acoustics, high gain shred, riff stuff, and it's an inspirational tool in the box. So I've never been happier with like just one thing, bang, you know. Shots fired indeed. You know, I see it all the time though. People, you know, these days they don't have so much money to like just blow on things on, you know. It's like you got to buy the right thing. Something that is multi-purpose and covers a lot of tones, and you know, like this, like 400 presets. You know, you get this now. In 6 months' time, we're going to be over 600 presets because all the new McRocklin Hutch, all my solo albums, I'm going to be using this. So it's like, you're going to get those presets absolutely free. It's amazing. So really cool. And of course, there's going to be updates. So we're talking about maybe dialing in some tones, and Sean has mentioned he would like to start with cleans. So let's pause it here. And we'll start off with this default preset because everybody knows this preset. We'll switch over to the clean amp, turn off the reverb and delay, turn off the wide, and just hear it. It's a really good amp, you know, there's no bass. Look at that, across the top, there's hardly any bass, treble, mids. It's very, very simple layout, just the default basic settings. Go to the EQ, got some scoops here to make it just a little bit kind of prettier sounding. Turn that off. Is blue showing ideal on the input knob? So what you want is, if for example, Alec, when you go to your full strikes, so right there I'm on a split sound. If I go to the humbucker, I'm going to show you in the UI. So you see when I go to my humbucker and I hit hard, I'm getting it to peak. Now I am sending quite a bit of level into the streaming software, so do let me know if I've clipped. I can see the stream software getting a little bit kind of into the red. Let me know if I need to just back the overall channel level down. But at your hardest strikes, your biggest chugs, you just want to clip it into the red slightly. Yes, so if you, I'm gonna make this a bit bigger, a little bit bigger like this. How's this? So Brad, on the EQ, let me see if I can add that so we've got some context. You know what I might do? I'm just going to bring this chat window over here for a sec, and then that way we can add you to the stream from over here. So on the EQ, you click 8-band, does that bypass the 4-band? Yes. So it's like either one. It's one or the other. Actually, I'm going to put that back. Sorry. Yeah. So with the EQ, you have two types. What's really cool, though, is the 4-band will have this very nice, very gentle low end, which is a very sort of an interesting shape of a shelf type of EQ. So it hits a certain point, but then it curves off because you don't want to add too much low end. And then when we go to the lower mids here, well, the second one, sorry, it'd be easier if I showed you this one. Do you hear how you can hear the phase moving around if I go really quick on it? So the reason why that's happening is because it's a very tight cue point, so you're really hearing it moving around. And the reason why it's a little bit tighter is it's to carve out certain frequencies in your tone. And it's really, really powerful when you use that wisely with cleans, or if you boost it, or if you use it with heavy sounds, because it really gets the guitar tone to fit really well in a mix. So just playing around with pulling certain frequencies out with the second band is like really, really important part of tone dialing. So I wouldn't like dismiss this and go straight to the 8-band and start doing smiley faces and stuff like that. You know, bingo, bango, all the way down like this. It's really interesting to like push some mids and pull out some mids. You can do some really fun stuff. But both of these EQs, it's like one or the other. You know, you don't have them both running simultaneously. I wonder what that would be like though. That would be interesting. So hey Flip, when it gets to the 3rd band, this one is a bell shape, but it's a bit wider. So you hear the frequency moving around there, but it's not going like this. It's like when you hear something that's too narrow on the upper mids, you get these awful digital peaks. So this 3rd band, it's really nice because it's quite a wide bell. So it's kind of doing this across your guitar tone as opposed to like the lower mid, which is doing this. So these shapes are based on shapes that I used to use with digital EQs and analog EQs. So yeah, it's great to just have those shapes built into an EQ. And then as we get to the final frequency, the treble frequency, you can see that we have a large spectrum available to cover in terms of frequency response. But for the most part, you know, you're probably going to be around here to here. And this is a very gentle sweep, high shelf. So I'm going to turn off some of the brightness from the amp. There we've got 10 dBs. That's a lot of EQ, but we've kind of balanced it out by pulling some of the brightness out of the amps. And that's also something that I would really recommend trying. Maybe as you pull the brightness down here, but then we'll go over heat pressor and add the brightness on the front end. And then the thing is you'd go to a different speaker, and you can tell right away that's got a more crispy sound. I'm just going to turn down this level just a tad, just in case I do start clipping. Let me know, guys, if I do clip the stream, because I have this particular channel just a little bit louder than my normal channel. You're clipping the stream volume, not the plugin. Yeah, so I'm just going to turn that down. I'm going to give it another -2 dB, or maybe it's -3. So let me know how this is. This is a very geeky stream today, guys. So one thing I would be very cautious about, and that is your ears are really funny sometimes. You might jump onto, say, E3, so is it E1, the last clean channel. You might go through 1 and 2. You might think, oh, they're lovely, and then you might get to E3. Sorry, I don't know why I keep calling it E3, but clean E. And you might think, oh, that's a little bit weirdier. It doesn't really have the bass and fullness. But this is where you start to get into the EQ or maybe the front end, and you kind of adjust it, because the end result will be totally different if you just work with that particular produced speaker chain. And it's that way for a reason, because if you have different ways that you can achieve brightness or oomph, it's going to give you more options. If you always have to go to the EQ and go, right, I need more bass. You know, bass from a speaker or a produced chain is very different from bass just added digitally in the EQ. So your mic is a bit lower than the guitar signal. Do I need more mic volume? Check. Let me know. Let me know if you need some more mic volume. I can certainly turn up the volume of the mic. Checky check. Let me know. Want a little bit more volume on the mic? 1, 2, check. 1, 2, check, check. How's that? Is that better? How's that? Alec. Let me know. Better. All right, cool. Any tweaks, guys, just let me know. And if you have any questions about things that you've noticed or you want to know, fire them into the chat. Sir Daryl, better. Lovely. Perfect. All right, let's jump back in here. So we have E1 loaded right now on that clean sound. Could be a little bit bright, could be a little bit peaky. So I'm going to pull out some of those higher mids. I'm going to turn off that front end brightness. I'm going to boost the amp a little bit. And then I'm going to add some top filter. Maybe a little bit of air, but filter it as well. So right away, obviously there's no reverb or delays or chorus, but you hear that with a bit of chorus on. Maybe a bit more presence. You know, like, that works. Yeah, smash that like, folks. That would be amazing. But you get the idea. Turn off that chorus. We go back, and then this was using an IR speaker, whatever you want to call that. That was a little bit bright, a little bit harsh, but we really adapted it to become something that's really, really cool. So don't just go for your favorite speaker chains all the time, like if you like A1 or A2 or A3. Try to use some of the other ones, but balance it out with EQs, because that's where some of the really, really cool things happen. So I guess whilst we have this loaded, maybe we can jump into some heat pressor, because heat pressor is it's a bit of a beast, really. It's kind of, I would say, almost at the heart and soul of a lot of presets. It's really, really great. First of all, obviously, it is a compressor, so it will do compression like this. So that's gone into full compression. Hey, look at that. Oh, thank you. Pat's dropping the 15, mate. Thank you so much, mate. Yes. Was in meeting and just start listening now. Kebab Starter Fund. What a legend. Thank you. Oh, that's very punchy. I've got full compression. I'm going to push the level. But what else do we notice? Got a bit of gate. Sorry, a bit of noise coming in. There we go. Oh, right away. That gate's doing a great job. We've got loads of compression, and I want a beat, but I don't want that halftime break beat. I want something a bit funky. Let's have a look. Let's try that. Look at that! Thank you, mate. So loads of compression, but you get the idea. Like, we took a sound that was like pretty good, but suddenly it's like it's an explosion in a box. I love stuff like that. Very, very cool. Where's my plugin gone? Thank you for the 15, man. What a legend. So you could do all that stuff with Heat Presser. Now I've turned the compression down. I've got to remember, I've got a lot of level coming out of Heat Presser, right? Yeah, that's a lot of level. So I've got to remember, okay, we're turning the compression down, so we've got to turn the level down, because when you compress, you're kind of effectively squashing that tone down, and that's why we use more level to push the amp. But when we do the opposite, we've got to think, unless we want to drive an amp, and we'll get into that in a bit, but yeah, think about the sort of levels hitting the amps. Now, let's say we want to figure out what boost's doing. Boost effectively it's almost like it squares off the very clips of your notes. So if you look at boost, when I was looking at audio recorded through certain products and certain compression approaches, what often was the case was the very peaks of the strikes were kind of shaped off in a really interesting way. And with boost, it kind of incorporates a little bit of that, but it's also like, it's almost like an expander in the way it works as well. So if you want something that is more subtle, but kind of fattens things out, boost is like great. And if we really kind of jump between like all boost, but we'll pull some level out. Now we level match it, turn that down, turn it up to sort of get to the same level. Oh, it's a bit louder. So to play, it actually feels quite different there. It's not as sustained. So like boost almost has like compression-like qualities about it, but in a very musical, not squashed way. It's a really, really cool tool. And I think it'd be really easy for a lot of people to just think boost is just pushing level, but actually it does some really amazing things when you use a lot of boost with like a low gain amp. You will do that and you'll just be sitting and playing. Fastest funk I ever heard. Yeah, so warmth. Listen out for the top end. Let's go boost. Turn that down. Listen to the top. Hear the grit? You hear it? Very clean. Bit of at the top end. So that is really, really important, because if you want to cut through in a mix, so if you had that exact beat and this exact tone, without that warmth on the top end doing that little bit of grit, when you hear the rest of the track, it just wouldn't cut in the same way. But because we have warmth kind of cranked up, helping it kind of cut through, but the sound to our ears is still quite clean. So definitely play around with that. And then obviously we have other tools in there as well, such as brightness, which is This is John speaking, Dorothy. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Lovely, lovely. Well, tell Dorothy to hurry up and buy a copy of the plugin. Otherwise, she's never coming back. Anyway, as Chili mentioned, you can also reverse even, the order. And now what that does is basically warmth going into compression or compression going into warmth, it sounds different. Hellhammer, hello mate. So I'm going to push the boost and I'm going to push the warmth and I'm going to turn down the level. So when I go this way, it feels like is just a little bit more compressed overall, because I'm guessing the boost and the warmth, it's hitting the compressor harder, and it's kind of making it sound a little bit more full on, a little bit more aggressive. Kind of like that sound, like, yeah, that's a nice little riff as well. Don't know about that beat, but I think that sound, very, very big. Let's try a little bit of delay. I really like two types of cleans. I like either super sparkly, very, very clean, or very, very gritty cleans like that. That's like my two favorite ones. Obviously there we've turned on wide, so if the wide is off, it's incredibly mono. I'm going to turn the boost down, the warmth, so it's not so gritty. So if you listen out, turn the wide on. But what's really cool about that, if you're listening with headphones or in a good set of, from a good set of stereo speakers, it's completely phase accurate. It's very clean. A lot of stereo processors that you turn on, immediately they just sound like there's something jarring. It's out of phase. It's artificial. You have to choose about how many milliseconds offset. How wide should it be? How many milliseconds do you, well, I don't know what's a good amount. And it's like, there's no sweet spot because it's effectively doing like, sort of basically like two parts of the signal, but just offsetting them. It's a really naff way of doing stereo. It's not great, and you would never want to use that in a mix. But this one wide button, it's like mid-side processing, and there's no additional latency. It's very, it's the same, but it is wider. It's really, really cool. So this is exactly it. Most give me an unwanted chorus type sound. And that is exactly the issue with most stereo makers that's built into guitar suites. They just, you know, they might sound impressive in the same way that going in a guitar shop and picking up a guitar and turning an amp on full is impressive for one or two people in the room. But most people are going to hear it and go, that's not very good. It's just, it doesn't work in tracks very well. So this is why. This is the future. Mid-side processing, 100%. Anyway, so we've did some heat presser. Let's save Synth, our friend, for a little bit later when we get into some edge or gain or something like that. Reverb and delay, maybe should we jump into a little bit of that? Why not? So default delay, everybody knows, is probably set up like this: no ducking, a reasonable amount, and no cuts. This is how it sounds, super basic. Very easy, right? Be helpful if I showed you. That's how most pedals are gonna sound. And I always talk about like how I like to create space in my guitar tones. So if my guitar is in the middle here, in the middle of the mix, I want the delays to be a little bit wider. So this is why it's really, for me, for most of my guitar tones, like 99%, I either use the ping pong or I use spread. And then if you listen to spread, now I play one chord, the delays are really outside of the mix or away from your guitar tone. So mono, so push them out wide, great. But if we had like an edge or a gain sound, it's too much, you know, it's too much bass. That's better. We're shaving some of that low end energy out of the delays, and we want the delays to be a little bit more rounded, a bit smoother. You know, we shave some of that high end off them. And then to balance it even further, we introduce some ducking. And right away, you put a bit of reverb on and you start playing. Maybe we go on and we turn on, I mean, we just left these settings like we had it before, but let's turn on shredder. You hear how the delay kind of just pops up really, really nicely. So if I just jam around now, we hear the delay when we stop playing, but it's a little bit out of the way. So I really like, you know, that approach to getting the delays a little bit wider, take some of the energy away from the bottom end and the top end, use some of the ducking. So when you're playing, there's a lot more ears and focus on your playing, and then when you stop playing, you still have that cool effect from the delay. And it's not like it's crazy. I mean, we can go extreme with the ducking in terms of full ducking, and then it sounds like there's no delay on when we're soloing, and then we stop playing, it comes back. Fun. Let's get into a couple of questions here, and then we'll jump back in it. I like how you use it with the rhythm tones. It doesn't get in the way. Exactly, yeah. It's exactly the reason. So you can... thank you, Nathan. Favorite color? I would say purple. I like purple. Yeah, so it just means you can have delays on. Like my normal stream gain sound, this is it. Oh, actually, sorry, it's on a different Ableton setup right there. But it basically has reverbs, it has delays on. But because it's kind of balanced nicely with some of the shelving, EQs, the low and high cuts and the ducking and the wide stuff, it really helps to focus in the sound a lot. So we were on clean and we were about to change over to maybe something else. Should we try loading the preset again from the very, very beginning, so it's exactly how you're going to have it out of the box? Look at that, just the default preset. And let's switch over to a clean, sorry, acoustic. So again, we'll turn the reverb and delay off for now, and we'll just have a listen to what we have here. We'll turn off wide, so we're just really in the mono. Thomas, can we use one of the starting points you did? Yeah, I mean, Sean, would you like me to use this initial preset here, or would you like me to go and start from one of the starting points for acoustic? Do we have a clean? Oh, no, actually we have clean, edge, and gain. Mikey, hello. I guess it's easier to maybe start with this particular one and just turn off wide, turn off the reverb and delay, and that brings you exactly here. That was a terrible chord. So yeah, when you're using this type of sound, obviously it's really, really helpful to use a guitar that has splits. Doesn't need to be these particular sets of pickups. It can be an old Ibanez. Let's grab an Ibanez and just see what a vintage Ibanez sounds like, you know, maybe it's with those splits. This particular guitar, it's very old strings. I think it's tuned down to D, but let's hear how it sounds. Have a little tune up at least. So really old strings, very, very old passive pickups, but at least it has a 5-way. Let's have a listen. Oh, this neck needs adjustment. So easy to pull that high E off the fretboard, so yeah. So easy, it's right on the edge. So with this particular guitar, I feel like in the software, it needs a little bit more compression and oomph. So I would go over to heat presser, probably a bit more compression, a bit more level. And I'd probably turn on the bright switch as well. And then, if we wanted to, we could adjust the amp and EQ to suit. Right there. I think that with a delay and reverb. Maybe a longer one. If you want to just quickly get the level up on a preset, this final compressor is so transparent. It's like a sort of compressor limiter that you can simply just bring it up like that, and a preset that doesn't have much level just gets it. Cool. So let's back that compression down, turn the reverb and delay off, and just jump back into some of the profiles. So should we, for consistency, maybe put the Ibanez back down? But you get the idea, right? Hey Nathan, you have a lovely weekend, mate. Good to see you. So even with old passive pickups from 1992, you can still get those really, really nice sparkly splits. Really, really tasty. So let's it's a little bit fresher, a little bit spanklier, and now I have old, you know that smell, old guitar strings. Ugh, not very nice. It's not very lovely at all, but oh, nice. The Holdsworth pickups. I've only heard them very briefly, but I did like them. So, jumping through some of the presets, sorry, the profiles. Remember the profiles, these are more like different types of acoustic sounds. You know, we're not sampling like a Kemper and stuff like that. These are more like a profile of an actual type of acoustic sound. So like in the case of the speakers earlier, some of the speakers were a little bit brighter, and then initially you go, oh, that's too bright. Yeah, they're very versatile, yeah. But then this is the point where we could pull down, say, some of the treble, bring up the mids, and then jump over to the EQ, see what's going on there, bring out some of the upper mids. And right away, we've balanced out profile C. But the cool thing is if we had just stuck with what our ears wanted to hear, you know, profile A and B, it would have had a different result in the end, you know, because like the profiles, everything, you know, they're all sort of balancing and causing unusual frequency curves in different and interesting ways. So our ears are really weird, and it's like when you jump through speakers, you immediately go, I like that better, I like that better. But if you just reset your ears for like 30 seconds, you start to think about, okay, I need to add some more bottom end or some more oomph or whatever it might be, then you get really, really cool results from that. And to use this for live performance, I will be, I actually did, me and Hutch, we did a gig with a gaming company, and we took this, me and Hutch both used it. I was using a Morningstar MC8, and Hutch had a Live Logic, and we did a gig using this with a sort of similar set as this. This was like about 3-4 months ago, so it was like on a really late beta version. I think we'd passed the alpha stages, but it was functional, and it worked really well. I mean, it sounded great, you know, through the PA speakers. But yeah, from now on, any gig, any live stream or masterclass or whatever I'm doing will be just the McRocklin Suite running. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, go head over to polychromedsp.com, and we've got a special intro price running right now, so you can get a hell of a saving. And the price that you see on the page, that's the final price. There's nothing hidden, and it's a really, really, really cool piece of kit, if I may say so myself. There we go, look at this, we got another big time guitarist here. Oh my gosh, we've got Morgan here. Oh, everybody say hi. How do you get it through PA speakers? Well, the easiest way is just to give your front of house a stereo line or a mono line, or whatever you like. The intro price is way too cheap. I know, we were like, oh, do we just do it? And then at the end of the day, we just went with it. So yeah, grab the intro price. But yeah, back to Brad's question. It was super easy. Just give them left and right. That was it. And because the sounds are designed to be used on records, essentially, records generally translate to live situations really well. So there was no like need for the front of house to go, it's very bassy. You know, if you mic up a cab on a stage, he's going to be all over the EQ, right? So yeah. Is it possible to order PolyChrome DSP as a gift at the intro price? I guess you could. I don't know if we have a specific gift, but I'm sure there's a way. Maybe that's a question that we need to figure out with maybe Luca. But I'm sure, obviously, it can be done. Yeah. How do you keep the noise down, like the crackle and pops? What kind of crackles and pops specifically? If it's like noise or distortion noise, then our gate, it's a really good gate. It's probably, well, not probably, I think it is literally the best gate. A lot of users have picked up on this as well, because a bad noise gate, it ruins everything. You probably experienced it. You plug a noise gate on your pedal board, and it's either cutting you off every time you do something, or you roll your volume down and it's like going, nah. It's like, oh, it's awful. But But in terms of crackles and pops, I don't get any clicks, pops and stuff from the door. So the only crackles and pops I can assume you're talking about, Greedy Meanie, is like maybe distortion ones, but the gate should absolutely look after you, you know? Hello everyone, brilliant plugin, bought it when it came out and I'm loving it. Oh, thank you so much, mate. Look at that. What a guy. Thank you, mate. I really, really appreciate that, and hope you're enjoying it. Are there expected discounts throughout the year? Probably not. I mean, you know, we're launching at a special price. We have no plans to come down to this kind of price. You know, who knows in the future, but we literally are launching. This is the first time it's available. We think really the product for what you get at $149 is cheap. So the launch price is like mental. But yeah, so I wouldn't hold your breath on it being $99 again for some time, if at all. You know, we can never say for sure, but yeah, $99, it's like, yeah, unreal. Pretty good at $99, yeah. Enjoying the demo so far, awesome. It works great. All of the presets have been dialed in with pretty much everything on that wall. When I've been dialing in presets, I've been getting passive pickups, active pickups, jumping back and forwards, like guitars everywhere, a complete mess, but you know, it's good. Launch price is insane. Just go, super fast, amazing sounds. Oh, thank you, Andy. Oh, mate, thank you guys. Let's shred indeed. Question, is there an explanation of the IOs type used and the speaker sidechain? There isn't any official documentation because it's way more involved than that. Like, for me, like, I'm never that interested in knowing that this speaker is a vintage 30 and it's got a 414 AKG mic on it and it's running through a Neve channel strip, because I've tried IR packs that say they're running through lovely outboard gear. You read the description, you go, oh, that's going to be amazing, and you hear them and they sound shit. And it's not to say, of course, all IR companies are like that. Some of them are very, very good. Some of them do it in interesting ways and they work pretty good. But for me, I don't care if it's a 112, 4x12. The gains is probably based off mostly 412s, you know, because, you know, I like the sound of that type of cab. And I like 30-watt speakers a little bit more than 75s and stuff like that. But it's really about the overall final chain sound that's embedded in those speakers that's really, really important. Because, like, when I was using third-party IRs, a lot of the time I'd have like SSL channel strips using a certain curve for like the sort of low end, and then I'd have fab filter for certain top end scoops and final shaping, and sometimes I'd have another instance of fab filter running overall. So to do away with all of that stuff and kind of get more of that type of sound into the speaker chains has been really, really cool. Yeah. IOs are old school, man. This is how the future will be from now on. Boom. Will we see suits from other guitarists? We can't reveal who will be next. But the only thing I can say on that is PolyChrome DSP is a software company for guitarists that, you know, makes really cool things for guitarists, and we also love really cool guitarists. So take from that what you will. It's overall, PolyChrome is like something that is probably going to take up way more time from my point of view than anything that I've ever done before. But also, it's something that I absolutely just love. You guys know for like years now how obsessed I've been over tone. You know, we've been through the pedal board phase, we've been through stacking crazy amounts of software. You know that just tone and being obsessive over tone is like that. I just love it. So this is something that I'm really, really happy to just go all in on, and keep helping us as a team just make better products, because ultimately you guys are going to get them and you're going to be buzzing out of your mind. I want you to plug in, turn on my suite for the first time like a lot of people have already, and just get to that default preset and go, oh shit, this is like way better than anything I've tried before. I want that experience. So I know that's a long answer for your question, but PolyChrome is for people who listen with their ears and not their eyes, technical specs, etc. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, 100%. I love that plugin, bought it on day one. Oh, thank you, mate. And I'm hooked with Cyber Lead. Cyber Lead's a fun one, yeah. I think that's got a little bit of chorus. It's really an aggressive kind of lead as well. You being a tone wizard is what gave me ultimate trust in PolyChrome's quality. Oh, Cygnus. Thank you, mate. What's my favorite preset for distant, spacey solos? I would say check out a preset called Opening the Show, because Opening the Show, it kind of reminded me of like a Steve Vai tone that I heard him do back in Anaheim. It was like not a lot of direct guitar tone, but you heard a lot of long reverbs and delays. I'll show you it. Speaking of, let's hear some of those OSIN tones on that solo or ZEUS Acoustic. Ooh, you know what? Should we get the solo out? That's a great shout. Yeah. Yeah, we have favorites in there as well. Yeah, let's try it. I'm going to get that solo down in a second. I just want to show you this one tone since there was a favorite question. And I think it is Riffs and Shred, and I'm pretty sure it's called Opening the Show or something like that. You might notice like things like Skyscraper and stuff like that, Is it this song? Oh, that's not Skyscraper, is it? That's like Knuckle Bones or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. Jack Butler, that's a fun one as well. Light Without Heat is also a Steve Vai reference as well, actually. That was his company. What was it called? I was pretty sure it was something to do with the show. Is it Low Gain? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Start the Show, of course. So yeah, Start the Show. Epic solos also. I like epic solos. They're really great as well. If you like big show, big shred moments, epic solos are good. But Start the Show, if you just want like an ambient. Yeah, it's fun. Thanks for the explanation. I'm assuming PolyChrome guys are giving some sort of spectral of the audio. Yeah, we could geek out on a lot of that stuff. I need to check out what the George Lynch sound is. But most sounds should be achievable. Let's switch it up. Miles was like, let's have a listen to that solo, and I kind of thought, yes, you know what? It has been a while since we've had the solo down, and we could go through some more tones with it. This guitar is so sick. It's like unexpectedly light because it's chambered. Really, really cool. Like it's about 30% lighter than what you'd anticipate it being. Sorry, the camera's jumping around in focus there. Really, really cool, and it's all walnut. The neck with the gold Evo frets. Really, really cool. And I got my custom Fishman pickups, but in black. It's really, really cool. Needs a bit of a tune-up though. Get into it. So we got through some acoustic stuff. Maybe we'll finish that off. In fact, I think we did quite a bit of acoustic. You had the gist of the acoustic stuff, I think. So maybe it's gone to Edge. Edge is like the... It's a very, very versatile amplifier. It's mostly Soldano. We need to check them out. Yeah, get some of those tones. Have a listen to them, and then dial in some. Yeah, this guitar's in D standard. Daniel, it is absolutely amazing. Bought it early, incredible sounding and intuitive product. Oh, mate, Daniel, thank you. Mate, I hope you love it, and happy exploring, man. How many presets have you got through so far? It's a lot. Even during the final days before release, I was like, I've got another 3 presets. Quickly, make a new build, get them in. Another 3. Strings on this guitar seem a little bit dead, but hey. Okay, so that's obviously massive, over the top. Let's go back to the int preset, starting at the very, very top. Nothing crazy, but we'll just choose the amp, Edge. So with Edge, you hear that, it's like, it's sounding a little bit broken up, a little bit gritty, right? A little bit of bite to it. But if we turn the output of it up, maybe put the bright switch on. I don't usually use fret wraps other than to just dampen down the sort of branch. So yeah, really versatile. Let's just stick with A2. And delay, and we'll just go really back to the basics. We'll turn the compression back down, bright off. Oh, almost at 100 likes. That'd be amazing. Yeah, if you haven't already hit the like, then yeah, wonderful. Oh, look at that. Hello, Tony. You know what? I'm going to come back to this guitar when we've got some presets loaded, because it would be a shame to go through some of the other sounds and we're not consistent, because if we jump between guitars, then that guitar's in D and it's harder for everyone to reference. So with Edge, clean, yes, absolutely. I really like using a lot of compression. You can hear as we push that, it gets a bit distorted. We can pull that back, push the input a lot. And then we have like this really mega kind of bluesy sound. Put the synth on that. Maybe a lot of synth. Absolutely, just yeah, so much fun to play. But there's other ways that we can achieve that though. So first of all, boost adds a lot of gain. And it's kind of really easy to lose level because there's just so much gain. So if I just kind of back down that. So right there, it's a little bit muffly. It's a bit like, oh, it's got too much going on. So I'm going to turn that front end compression down, outputs. I'm going to turn on the tightness. So basically what the tightness does is it gets rid of some of the bottom end and some of the top end. Without this, because Edge is a little bit more kind of overall potentially flubby, you know, it's not like the gain amp, which it's very purposeful. Edge has just got more vibe and characteristic. So sometimes just using that tight switch with Edge is a cool thing to try, especially if you have boost on, because it's just the boost. It's very, very powerful. You know, that right there, it feels like when I was a kid and you'd go in a room and you'd turn an amp up. And this is before, yeah, no, right, Sean, there's no pedals, there's no drive pedals, this is just straight up the amp. So it's just, oh yeah, like that, we could just play for our life. It's really, really fun. So play around with the boost and work out different ways that you can use heat pressor, you know, with boost, warm. You know, that with like shop verb, which is like designed to be really small, like a room. Bit of compression on the final output. You get that bite and feisty. It feels like an amp is just stacked to like 10. And I'm like sitting, like my room is really quiet. So unbelievable. Let's have a look. Greetings, Elas Ray. Hey, Ivan. How you doing, mate? Will there be transpose? No immediate plans, but there's a bunch of other things. And any future things that we will bring to the plugin, we wouldn't give you a heads up. We want to keep it a surprise. Some cool things coming. We keep it a surprise. Congrats on the plugin, bro. I just tried the demo. It sounds amazing. Sadly, I never looked for the full version. Hopes to do this out. Hey, thanks for checking it out, mate. There is a demo, yeah. Yeah, you can go check it out right now. PolyChromeDSP.com. Look at that. Whoosh. Right there. Maybe just grab a demo. You can do all the stuff along with me at the same time. No problem at all. Yeah, so back on the edge, there's just like various ways you can set it up. So for example, let's say you wanted to use, let's turn the reverb delay off, back to the compression down, an overdrive pedal with it, shredder. So obviously it's gonna have a different vibe, like gain. You can tell that's set up to be modern, fresh, articulate. You're going to hear all of the, you know, the notes in your chords. It's a very modern type of amp. But when you want something that's a little bit more vintage and broken up and that feel-good factor, you know, just puts a smile on your face, well, you don't need to go and buy another plugin or another amp. You know, you just load up the Edge and it's really, really cool. Can you save custom presets? Of course, yeah. Anytime you're happy, you hit save, and then you can save it wherever you like. All good. But I daresn't say, you know, you could probably use something like Shredder or Attacker together, adjust the gate. You know, maybe you could use Edge for some extreme kind of heavier sounds. Yeah, you got the horns there as well. But I just really, really like to use it for like low gain stuff. I don't know if we have some sounds like presets. All right, let's Blues Night. See here, actually, there's two different setups back to back. Blues Night. And then Broken Hearts. It sounds really different. It's using the Attacker with it, whereas this one is using Viber. Now this is the clean amp. Wow. Pretty crazy. That's absolutely mental. I like that one. That's Burnout. Hey Clem, welcome. But at the same time, you know, sounds like that are set up to be like low gain from the gain amp. Cool Gibson. So that's like really presets that's designed for like double tracked sounds. And we've got all sorts of things, live stream favorites and stuff like that. Ugh. So a preset like Afterglow, for example, we don't really do shimmers. Like I don't love all shimmers. Some shimmers are like pretty good, but I much prefer grains, pitched delays, you know. So if we turn off that delay, there's no pitch stuff going on. Now if I introduce some of this, it's like an explosion of like crystals. And we could really push that further in a way that we could take the level of the mix down. Maybe you would take some of the top end out of it. It's really, really subtle. But then we change over to like Dream Verb. Really go long on the length here, take some bass out of that, turn up the bloom. Maybe we'll put the chorus on. So cool to play around with. You can just put beats on. Delay over to Pong. And the chorus that's making that so luscious. Turn the reverb delay off entirely. That chorus on. Really kind of dreamy, very, very 80s, very punchy, very nice. So, any questions so far? Let me know in the chat. Matthew, hello mate. Good to see you. Will you replace every other stuff you have in your studio with your new plugin while you're being focused to get the best of it? No, this is it, Ivan. There is no going back now. There's no going to the shelf. I mean, unless there's something really obscure that is just impossible. But if I'm making a song right now, I'm loading this plugin, and that is it. That's my starting point, and that's my end point. The very first track on the McRocklin Hutch album, Rude, all of the guitar tones from me, Hutch, D Rich, it's just that one plugin. That's it. So, will we be notified when updates are available via email? Yes, and also, I haven't used the Chord Cortex for a while, actually, so you'll notice it's not here. It's not hidden anywhere. It's not in use anywhere. So yeah. Yes, that's what we need, Brad. We need those high gain shred tones indeed. I know, you know, I have another room which has like gear in it, and I have been trying to like slim it all down, but I just never get around to it. Gorgeous, just beautiful. Thank you, mate. But yeah, you'll get an email when there's updates, but also you'll get a little light in the plugin that will notify you that, hey, there's an update waiting for you. I think I'm in. Mark, check it out. Yeah, check it out. So, gains in general. Let's go back to that in preset for one final time, and then we'll talk about setting up overdrive sounds, distortion, full hyper shred sounds, and then we will see what is going on. So let's load this preset up very, very... Did I save over it? Did I save over it? That sounds like it's slightly tweaked. Heat press. Oh yeah, looks like I saved over it. Did I save over it? Maybe I've saved over my default preset. Let's reset it a little bit then. But I want it to be exactly the same as what you guys have. Let's see, do we have a preset we could all start from? Should we go from a starting point? Yeah, let's try a starting point. So let's go cab A. Try that. Ooh, I don't know which starting point. Should we just go with A? Let's just stick with A. All right. So with this one, this is using the first speaker chain, and you can see it's already kind of set up, but we're going to take off heat presser entirely and the shredder, and just maybe even reset a little bit of this EQ. So it's pretty much 12 o'clock all around. I'll put these guys up a little bit as well. We'll just, in fact, we'll turn the EQ off. All right. Maybe, I mean, I might need to update it. I might need to check it out. I might be on a pre-release 101 or something like that. We have like simultaneous versions running, I think, at the same time. So one thing that you notice, right, that there's not a lot of gain on this amp, even if I go full gain. It's not a high gain amp per se, but it can be the most brutal high gain sounds. So what gives? Why is that? So you guys know, for a while I was trying to figure out a way. Like I was making platform presets for various software, and sometimes it worked, you know, you could get certain pedals to plug in and it would sound okay. But often you'd plug another overdrive pedal in and it didn't kind of work. So it's like if you didn't have that, like an Apex preamp, then it just didn't really work at all. So the idea behind the gain channel on this amp is that it's set up to take pedals amazingly well. So the benefit of that is you kind of get all of your flavor, if you like, from these guys. So what I like to do though is I like to kind of give myself a bit of headroom on the gain. So I kind of, you know, just over 12 o'clock, for example, maybe I'll turn heat pressure on, but do nothing but just put a little bit of extra output. Bit of boost. Now we can hear that it's kind of pushing the front end of the amp. It's giving it a little bit of gain, right? But that means when we turn on something like Attacker, straight away it's like it's barking, you know? Now to me, I feel like maybe we need to kind of scoop that out because it's very aggressive sound. So maybe I'll take some of that out, come over here, check out if we've got air. Feels like it's getting a bit woolly, so maybe that's too much resonance. Maybe we need to just check out the high and low cut. Ah, there we go. So too much resonance. That kind of sounds massive and like flubby, but it's too much, you know, you kind of need to dial that back. But if we go over to the drives and we change out of Attacker to like Shredder, the sound of that drive in terms of the characteristics is quite different. But when you go to Riffer, like you might want to set that up in a totally different way. Like you might want to put less amount of drive and more output. That sounds bright, so we could maybe take some top end out, add in some resonance, take the air out. Maybe it's because this drive pedal is a little bit heavier on the bottom end, we could introduce a tight switch. And if it's a little bit too much gain, pull it all back here. Still feel like there's a bit too much bass coming in, so again we could look at the filters, pull out some of that resonance, check it out in wide. So there's just various ways that you can get to presets. So if we jump out into like riff and shred and we go into like angry metal or all the notes, stream. Really hear how tight that gate is. And it's crazy because like if we just go back here and we turn this plugin off, same for those lovely acoustics that you heard. Battlefront earlier. Turn that amp off, the whole thing off. This is how it sounds. Turn it back on. Pretty wild. If we go to APAT, good to see you, mate. One of the low gains which I really like, Maxo for example here. And with it off. And you really hear how like spongy and amp-like it sounds. So there's a bit of an overview on like tones and feel and different ways that you can go about things. I think really exploring and spending some time is like the way to do it, you know. Time profit, we actually are going to, well, there's something really cool that's going to happen with the preset system. It's going to be overhauled in a different way, and it's really exciting. So anyone that's jumping on board, that's buying it at the intro price, you're going to have all these cool things right now, but in the coming weeks and months, you're going to be seeing some more absolutely cool as hell stuff arriving into the McRocklin Suite. So jump on board, join the team, get yourself a copy, and if you haven't even tried the demo, don't forget you can go over to polychromedsp.com and grab a demo, spend the weekend playing around with it, see if you love it. And look at that, Brad coming in, mate, with a 20. Thank you, mate. Oh, you know what, I'm frigging starving. I had some bran flakes before the stream. I was setting up and I had so many calls and meetings right before the stream, right until like a half an hour before the stream. So I'm like cranking down some bran flakes, and it did nothing for me. So Brad, the temptation is real now. The temptation. I do fancy a pizza though, I must say. Maybe it's because I'm not with Hutch tonight. The kebabs is, you know, not quite on my mind as much. It's been a while since I had a really just a massive 16-inch. You can't eat the whole thing, but you know, you eat with your eyes first. You look at it, you go, yeah, that's never going to be done in one shot, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm kind of in one of those moods tonight, Brad. So yeah. So a little bit of a different stream tonight, I know. Also a little bit of a different look. You're gonna have to let me know. For the 4th time in the last month or something. All the cameras have been reset. We're using brand new LUTs again that we created, actually. I made these ones. And then obviously a couple of new different things. Thought I'd light up the Kiesel headless guitars in the back there. What do you think? Is it a distraction? Is it not? American mode engaged. That's right, 16-inch. That's what I'm talking about, going all in. What does the colors and everything vibe look like? Hello? Hello? Double. This is where we should do the 20, Brad! Seriously? What a guy! What a guy! The strangle cam. I'll kill you! Not a distraction. The cameras look great. Cool. Setup looks great. Okay. I'm always like a complete tweaker. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna change it. It's like I replay like 30 seconds of a stream back and I go, oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. Reset everything. The strangle cam. You son of bitches, I'll kill you. This is true, Sean. This is true. Man. Nice one, Troll. Everything cool. So no tweaks for a while. I have no idea what time it is. Oh shit, we've been live for 2 hours. No idea. Will there be a stream tomorrow? You know what? I don't think, Michael, there will be a stream tomorrow. I think tomorrow night I might be sitting on my arse doing nothing. Do you play in a classical position? Yeah, I do a lot. I jump back and forwards a lot. Like this and like this, so. Yeah, oh, Super Bowl on Sunday. Sunday? What's Sunday, mate? Sunday. So yeah, I think I'm gonna shoot maybe some Instagram stuff tomorrow. Now that we've got like a lot of the stuff done and we're kind of like up and running, I really want to just do some fun, easygoing riffs on Instagram and stuff like that. So always fun. ZEUS is a great position for either position. Yeah, it is. Yeah, ZEUS is great for either position. It's really good. Super comfy. Perfect gate and strong sound. Thank you, Addy. So obviously, we've been dialing in tones tonight with the PolyChrome DSP McRocklin Suite. Here it is one more time in the background, or you can head over, take a demo for yourself, or purchase it at the special intro price and get everything. I'm super happy with how it's turned out though. I'm really excited, and I think you're also gonna really enjoy the updates as well. It's very some eye candy. Love a bit of eye candy. The OSIRIS. The OSIRIS is nice too. Yeah, I think overall to sit and hold, I don't know why, but I feel like single cuts are just more comfy. Even though like a double cut's nice because you can grab your guitar by the top horn, but just for sitting and playing, I don't know why, but I just feel single cuts. I was never really that into single cuts. In fact, I remember the first time I saw the ZEUS when Kiesel released it, I was like, oh, that's weird. But then the second time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's weird, but I kind of like it. And then this was like at a NAMM show, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool actually. And then I didn't really go in the booth, but they had one on the outside because at this time I wasn't really connected in any way with Kiesel. I was like, oh, I don't want to go in there. But I picked up a ZEUS and I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's kind of nice. That's kind of fun. And then that was it. Everybody needs a top horn. Time Profit. Oh no, I missed the stream. Can I get a juicy D minor shred? What's a juicy D minor shred? that. There you go, juicy shred. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out today. Let's put the track on and think about getting the hell out of here. Any final questions for the McRocklin Suite before we set off into the sunset? I've got extra notes, mate, I wish. Oh, I tell you what, I'm feeling that in my legs today and I like it. I was taking advice from the guys on the fitness channel on our Discord. And if you're not on the Discord, you should definitely come and join us over there. We also have a dedicated Discord for PolyChrome chat and feedback and suggestions and all that stuff. So this is mcrocklin.com/Discord. That's where I'm at all the time. But now I'm also at polychromedsp.com/Discord. So if you want to get on there as well, 2 Discord servers. Wow. Hey Clem, thank you. But yeah, been on the various leg machines, pushing it hard. I like leg exercises a lot. I don't know why, but there's something that I like a lot about really just pushing weights with my legs. Very satisfying. Very weird. How long will the promo go on for Poly? Hopefully, I would love it to go until the end of the month, you know, because that's when people usually get paid. And I've heard so many times people are like, I'm waiting for payday, please don't remove the discount. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try and leave it on through payday, mate. So hopefully, if you're getting paid at the end of the month, you should be good to go. Daniel, thanks for joining us today. Sometimes I have a choice to play guitar or read the Discord, the guitar wins. Time Prophet, you've got to show your face in there sometimes. There we go. Sean's got the right plan for the weekend. Lovely, mate. Yeah, it's great to see everyone, especially in a little bit more of a chill setting today. The last stream that we had was with Hutch, and it was so much fun, but it was also a lot of hype. A lot of hype. We had cake, we had shreds and songs and jam sessions. Those streams will be back, of course, and I look forward to them, as will Shred Club be returning as well. Now that we've got the launch out, I'm back on Shred Club edits and stuff like that. And Retro, congrats on the success, bro. You deserve it. The product is awesome. Oh, thank you so much, mate. That's very, very kind of you. You know, I understand that we're very much at the beginning of this whole journey, but it is very, very exciting because the potential to make this, like, I would never have thought this was possible when we started out. I would have said you're an idiot. There's no way you can do this in one product. If you asked me a year ago, can we realistically do this? I would have thought you were a lunatic. No chance. So it's really like, it's so exciting, and I'm so excited for all the things that we have to come and for you to all use it and have fun with it. So not really, Pat. Not really. I've seen them eyeballing a lot of my stuff, that's for sure. They've been looking at a lot of stuff. But no, it's been radio silence, so fair enough, you know. But you know, I've got to say, you know, I'm sure, of course, Neural are going to continue to do really cool things, I'm sure. And you know, we're very different in a lot of ways to their approach to sound, the aesthetics, the way that we work and, you know, put tones together. I think is very different, you know. So, you know, of course, there's going to be people that have both products. Some people, you know, will just use ours, and some people will try ours and it might not be for them. But I think overall, we've had an amazing reception. I mean, far more one-sided, to everyone loving it than I ever thought possible. So I'm super grateful and thankful for the amazing amount of support and feedback, and people's been very vocal about their purchases and saying how amazing it is. And you know, after we work so hard on it, it's like it is like a massive relief that we, you know, we can get that receive that feedback, and people are like genuinely loving it, you know, and they're super happy with their purchase. It's like a massive relief, you know, because I mentioned this on the other video, but it's like when you test it internally, no matter how big the beta test team is and how many artists we have wanting to check it out, until we let it loose on the real deal, you know, you guys are the real deal. You guys tell us exactly how it is. If it's shit, you say it's shit. If it's an amazing, you know, you say how it is. And you know, we couldn't have scripted the comments and feedback to be better than what it was. It's been incredible, and we are right at the very beginning. So I'm so very happy. So hey Mike, lovely to see you, mate. Yeah, yep. There's enough pie for everyone. Apparently so. Yeah. Super Matrix, what? Mate! Are you serious, man? Super Soundscape Matrix. I called you Super Matrix because of the super chat. I'm just putting two and two together. Mate, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. Mike just had an old bandmate over and he was super impressed. Oh, nice. That's always good, like, you know, to like put people in front of things that they're not naturally, like, you know, maybe they don't use software. Maybe he uses an amp and you put them down and you say, hey, try this. How does it sound? How's it feel? It's always interesting. But yeah, I play violin, so got, oh, okay, nice. You know what? A violin through the acoustic with some of the reverb and delay, that could be lovely. A little bit of chorus. Tom here again, mate. Glad you like it, Tom. That's amazing. Anyway, thank you everyone for dropping those supers, and have a great weekend. I'll see you probably on Instagram or the Discord. Get yourselves over on that Discord. If you want to join the dedicated PolyChrome DSP Discord, that's polychromedsp.com/Discord. Super easy, but there's plenty of Polychrome chat on my Discord as well. So have a wicked weekend. Look at that, D Rich is here as well. Mega Man, right to the end. Have a great one, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you very soon. Okay, cheers, guys. Look at that, lovely.